Hey, what's up turtles? Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the Cotopaxi Cusco 26-liter pack, which is hanging behind me right now. Cotopaxi is a new company and they contacted us asking if we'd be interested in reviewing any of their gear. What's really cool about this company is that with each purchase, and they're calling it an impact per purchase, is that a percentage of, I guess, the profit goes to a specific partner organization, which is really cool. So you can go to the website and check out all the information, all the background involving the impact per purchase. Now I'm going to get into the bag and talk about some of the features and details. This bag is selling for $89 and it's sort of that in-between of an urban sort of city carry, and it can be used for a little bit more rugged and outdoor pursuits. This is the beach canopy color option, which is beach as in the tree, double E. And the bag's constructed out of this really cool nylon and cotton blend material. So it kind of has the softness of cotton, but definitely the durability of a nylon. I'm really impressed with this. And on top of this material, there is a DWR finish, water resistant finish. And empty, the bag weighs 1.8 pounds. Getting into the features of the bag, there is some padding on the back. This is a thicker nylon, and there's some foam or some padding back here. There's no frame in the pack. You can see the shoulder straps coming down here sort of have this S curve, which I'm a really big fan of. The more I use these packs and the longer I've been using this style of shoulder strap, it really allows for weight to be distributed pretty nice and comfortably. And you can see the thickness, the width of these shoulder straps. Without using a hip belt, it still really carries the weight really well for this pack. Underneath, you can sort of see this type of diamond pattern. There's some foam in here, some cushion. You do have a sternum strap on this pack that runs on this rail that you've seen on a lot of different types of packs. Backpacking, technical style packs, you'll see sort of this rail that allows it to be adjustable. There is a hip belt on this pack. You can see the shoulder strap nylons running in here to this little shape of the material, sort of wraps around the kidneys, sort of a kidney pad, if you will. And this is the hip belt nylon running right here. Now, granted, this isn't sort of a hiking, specifically for hiking and weight bearing, this hip belt design. But for me personally, if a pack's gonna say it can be a hiking bag, this or that, the hip belt's important to me. One, because it'll help take a little bit of weight off the shoulders, but more importantly, it just helps secure the bag to the body more, because for me personally, I like to move around and climb over trees, around trees, this and that. So just having the bag more securely to my body adds a lot of, and more functionality to the bag, in my opinion. And then you have their traditional buckle here on the hip belt. And then you have this little piece of elastic, if you will, sort of a cord keeper, the flailing tail end of the hip belt, you can thread it through here. Once you have it cinched to your liking, you can thread that through there just to keep it a little bit neater so it's not flopping all around as you're hiking. You could even thread this back through it a couple times. That's the hip belt. Moving on to the side of the bag, each side has a stash pocket or slip pocket that my finger is tracing the dimensions of this pocket. And you can fit a water bottle in here. You could even fit a 32 ounce, 20 ounce would be better. But because it's sort of a slip stash pocket, you can see I have a pretty narrow, this is a Baco saw that I have, the sheath I made. It slips in there pretty nice, and I have the inside of this packed pretty full. Now, if I was going to try to put a large diameter bottle in here, it's going to want to protrude on the inside of the bag, and if you have a lot of contents on the inside of the bag, you're not going to be able to get a water bottle in here. So if you want to carry a water bottle on the outside, I suggest you put that in this pocket first, then pack the inside of the bag. But on this side I have, like I said, a saw with a sheath, and on the other side here, same pocket, same size, I have a fixed blade knife and more in the sheath I made for it. Moving on to the front of the bag. You have these two little leather lashing points, if you will. What you could do here is put some shock cord or bungee cord through here with a cord lock, give you some space to, you know, slide a light layer, something like that, cinching down, this would work fine for that. Besides that, I'm not sure what else they could be used for, but nonetheless, they are there. And this is a large front pocket right here, again, that my finger's tracing. Dual zippers, YKK zippers. You do have a flap over the zipper track because these are not covered zipper seams or zipper tracks. But nonetheless, getting into this very large front pocket on the bag. Like I said, this is a very large pocket. You could definitely fit some larger items in here. But for now, what I have is one pencil here. There's space for two. And these are just some flashlights we got that I'm bringing out, maybe shoot a video for later. And even farther down in here, I have a little pocket organizer. Now this is enough, you know, to organize. There's a zipper pocket here, sort of a mesh zipper pocket, and a stash pocket behind it that my hand's running in. And there's definitely enough of organizational capabilities within this pocket, but because I switch bags a lot, this way I don't have to constantly take out all these small items. I just have all this in here with me. Because I change bags a lot, review bags, using different bags. So things like this, I'll just keep in this thing so I can pull it out, put it in every bag I know it's in here. And I'm not worried about losing small items, which I've done. That's the front pocket. Moving on to the second exterior pocket of the bag, you have this smaller pocket right here, which is lined with this light material. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Inside here I have my cell phone, which is a larger size smartphone, a kerchief, a smaller fixed blade knife, a headlamp, and a little bit of paracord. So it's definitely a nice size pocket. Can fit a lot of things like that, and I really like having small pockets like this accessible from the outside of the bag. That way small items like this don't have to get into the main compartment. Small things like that you can just grab, you know, sling the bag over your shoulder, get into it, and keep moving, stuff like that. And again, you have a flap for the zipper track on there. Very large YKK zipper track on here. You can see the size of that next to my finger, and this is probably, I'm not sure what type of leather, if it's suede or not. That's the pull on the zippers throughout the bag. Now moving into the main compartment of the bag, again you see this flap over the zipper track. Very large YKK zippers again. First feature that I really like about this main compartment is this small pocket at the top of it. This is really great, again, to have a small pocket easily accessible, that I can just unzip the top of this bag, get in the small pocket, having small items up here. Don't have to rummage down deep inside the bag. Just have a hank of paracord up there right now. One zipper on that. Really like the small pocket and just the overall, you know, the way I've been using this bag, and it sort of seems like the way it's tailored for the user. Just seems really natural and really well thought out. And I'm really impressed with just the design of this bag. In here, I have a water bottle. This is actually theirs. Cotopaxi right here. They sent this to us. It supposedly keeps ice for I think 24 hours, 12 hours. Don't quote me on that. This is one of their bottles that will supposedly hold a liquid to a temperature. So I'm testing that out, seeing how long this stays cool for today. This is a 20 ounce. Because I had other things in these stash pockets, I chose to carry my bag, or excuse me, the bottle on the inside. Have a Mountain House meal in here, just to show, just, you know, for some size. I'm pretty much set up for pretty much an overnight trip with this, barring some way to purify water. So I have a meal here. Continuing on my contents on the inside of the bag, I have my whole cook system in here, excuse me. This is a bag I made. Loop on the bottom. Wooden toggle in here. I have MSR seagull pot, a small top of canister stove, a small fuel source, whole cook system in here. And then the largest item in there is a one link. So this has a hammock, I have a tarp, I have a bug net, I have straps to get this up. So there's a whole sleeping system, whole shelter in here, and it's modular, meaning I can use either piece if I need a tarp, I need my hammock, blah, blah, blah. But nonetheless, this all fits inside the bag. And that's all I have on the main compartment. Now you can see this contrasting, let me get this down a little bit, this big yellow, almost quilted looking pocket right here. And this is designed to carry a laptop. And the largest you can fit in here is 15 inches. I did put my 15-inch laptop in here just to see how it feels, see how it fits. And it's a very snug fit, which I'm really happy with. This does have some thickness, a little bit of padding to it. Sort of like this accented touch, you know, for that South American feel. And just the yellow on the inside of the bag, I really just like the contrasting features that, you know, you're only going to see once you have the bag and you're using it. Now, one thing this doesn't have, I don't see this is able to, you know, double as a hydration, you know, pouch, if you will, for a bladder. But in there, I just have a notebook. It's a small notebook I use for my notes, a little moleskin. And like I said, this does not have a frame, and this isn't really designed to be a hiking bag. But with that said, I feel like the more I put in here, and I'll get the bag on my back and show you how it sits on my body, the more I put in here, the more comfortable it feels as I give some structure to this back panel. And the bottom of the bag is reinforced and constructed out of full grain leather. Oops. Full grain leather, probably suede, if I had to guess. I'm thinking both sides are this sort of finish, if you will, suede, but nonetheless a nice touch, and just gives an overall accent and just the look of this subdued yet classic. And obviously you can see it blending into the forest around me. Just really like the look of this bag, the aesthetics. I'm going to get everything back inside it and put it on me and talk a little bit more about the bag. So I have the pack on now, fully loaded with everything you've seen that I brought with me today. And if you can see it on the camera, that the pack is touching sort of where my lumbar is and running up, I'm getting a lot of positive contact up the length of my spine going towards my shoulders and my neck. And that's because of, you know, I had the one link in there and I have my cook system and a little bit more contents towards the top, as I'm getting positive contact the whole way up my back because there is no frame. And when I've carried this bag with just stuff towards the bottom of it, just down in here, and nothing really filling out the top of it, there was just a little bit of like gap and a little bit of sag where I wasn't getting positive contact towards the upper part of my back in between my shoulder blades. That's because my torso, the way this pack is elongated on my back, you can sort of see it, how it's sort of, it's narrow, you know, it's more narrow than it is wide. But with that being said, once I have it loaded like this and comfortable with the contents in it and just actually, you know, packing it with in mind that I want some things to give me some support in lieu of there not being a frame in there, it's very, very comfortable even without the hip belt. I'm very big on packs being comfortable in the hip belt, and I'm really critical packs aren't comfortable. But these shoulder straps and what I'm carrying so far in this bag today, it's really, really comfortable just to carry as is without any extra, you know, load saving devices as opposed to load lifters and or, you know, a thicker hip belt with bigger pads on my kidneys. Now I want to thank Cotopaxi for sending this bag. Anders, I believe his name is pronounced Anders. I'm only saying that because I watch Workaholics. I want to thank them for sending this pack out. Really impressed with it, and I know CJ was the pack designer, and I'm sure there's other people involved with designing this pack and other packs at the company, but I want to say thank you to them, and they did a great job. Really well thought out bag. You know, CJ, if you're going to watch this or anyone can pass this on, you know, we should talk about potentially, you know, designing a bag with this material. I really, really just like this nylon and cotton blend material. If you have any questions about this bag I didn't go over, any questions about their company, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Remember to check out blackoutdoors.com and all the other social media outlets that we're on right now. This is Krik signing out with Black Outdoors. Later, turtles.